This is Gitlab on the monthly chart, and we can see that it hit all-time lows back in May, but since then price has been on a nice pump or pullback depending on how you look at things. Let's go to the weekly chart, and what I like to see when price has hit bottoms is that you see a pause, small rise, followed by a pump in price. With that said, we're going to say that this pump on above average volume constitutes weekly buyers. At, we'll say $34. Now, before we continue with the analysis, they did announce earnings, and so I want to go over the results before we continue with the analysis and figure out where price can go next.
Shares of software developer Gitlab are up in a down market, rallying after earnings on a better than expected outlook. Let's talk about the future with the CFO, Brian Robbins, back with us from Gitlab, ticker GTLB. Shares having a good day here. Brian, market seems to be pretty happy with your guys' report. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. Tell us about the guidance in particular, seems to be the highlight.
Yeah, thanks, Oliver. Thanks for having us on the show today. Before I jump in, I think it'd be helpful just to let folks know what Gitlab does.
Sure.
And so then I'll get your question. And so the easiest part to talk about Gitlab is an analogy to the iPhone. And back 5, 6, 7 years ago when I traveled a lot, I'd pack a full duffel bag of electronics. I'd have to take a Walkman, a camera, a GPS, all kinds of chargers and so forth. And then the iPhone came along and everything was integrated into a single platform, a single application, and you had a great user experience. And so that's what we do for software developers, operations and security professionals. We create this fully orchestrated software development lifecycle in a single application to allow people to create software better, faster, cheaper, and more secure.
Love that and appreciate that, as we've got a long list of companies in the category of general software and tech, hard to keep track of them, so a good description here. Where is the big demand coming from? Small businesses, big clients that are paying you more for what you're giving them? Where is it coming from?
Yeah, Gitlab provides this platform. It's the same platform that we provide to the Fortune 100. We have over 50 of the Fortune 100 as customers today, but the same platform's used for mid-market as well as for SMB. So we sell into any geography as well as any vertical. And so it's the same platform for everyone.
Right now, the expectations seem to be pretty lofty compared to a lot of the commentary we've heard from companies in your sector that talk about macro headwinds and slowing of growth. Where is the guidance coming from that is beating those expectations? Like on the margin, what were you surprised by?
Every company has to become a software company, and so we enable them to do that. And so, we've been very consistent in our messaging. Sid and I have said at GitLab, the number one thing we want to do is grow, but we'll do that responsibly. So I'm super happy that this quarter we delivered 38% year-over-year revenue growth, and we did that with increasing operating leverage in the model. If you exclude our JV, Jihu, GitLab on a consolidated basis only lost $1 million this quarter. And so, we had a great quarter overall. We had good customer adds. I think the quarter can be characterized as stabilization across the quarter. And so really happy with our performance this quarter.
As you mentioned, the bottom line still operating a loss, even on an adjusted basis, a couple cents for the EPS. Which was better than expected, a smaller loss than the street expected. What about the long-term profitability outlook? Is that a priority at this point? We've seen a lot of companies pressured by the market the last year to flip that switch to profitability.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling it out, Oliver. This was a big milestone in the company history this past quarter. On a non-GAAP EPS basis, we are positive for the first time. So we're super happy about that. There's two things that we said. One that we've committed to is that we'll be free cash flow break even in FY 2025. And then also we said in the prepared remarks on the call that we expect to be non-GAAP operating income positive in third quarter, which is our next quarter.
Okay, and thanks for the correction there on the trailing. The EPS on the adjusted basis was positive. Correct me if I'm wrong, the outlook still for a cent on an adjusted 2 cents basically, an adjusted loss expected?
Yeah, we gave guidance for the full year but that includes our JV. The guidance has our JV included in it. And so the guidance that we gave for the full year on EPS was -8 cents to -5 cents.
Okay. The joint venture that you're referencing there, tell me about that, how that affects the numbers, and if that will be, is that always going to be kind of a division in the way you think about the numbers, or will it just will it come together as a comprehensive figure at some point?
Yeah, thanks for that. We believe, Gitlab believes that China is a huge market, and so we didn't want to go into the market alone. And so we started a JV where we had investors come in. So we contributed the IP. We had investors because we're the majority owner of the JV. We consolidate that in our financial results. We are working with our auditors to deconsolidate that at some point.
Okay.
But currently it's consolidated in our results. So when we report our results in our 10Q, we actually separate that out in a footnote so investors can see what the revenue and loss was in the JV. And so when we talk about our financials, we talk about it, we give guidance with it included, but we talk about it excluded because it's on a non-cash basis.
Got it. Thanks for the clarification. Brian, on the path towards the free cash flow and the profitability metrics you want to achieve, does that require any cuts into the business, or does that happen just organically, spending a little bit less? Where does it come from?
Yeah, there's two ways you can get there. One is growth, and two is operating more efficiently. And so we have been able to get operating leverage in the model quarter after quarter, which I'm super proud about. We've had considerable operating leverage from last year, this year. Our full year guide has us adding approximately 170 million of revenue for only adding approximately 70 million of expense. So the incremental revenue that we're delivering, we're doing it, at a profit versus a loss. And so that's where, we're actually getting increased operating leverage in the model.
Okay. The partnership with Alphabet, Google, let's talk about that for a sec. Got that big buzzword in there, AI. What are you guys working on?
Yeah, I'm super proud about what we're doing in AI. We have 10 features under development right now. One is GA, which is suggested reviewers. We have roughly about 100,000 users on suggested reviewers. We also have code suggestions, which is in private beta, which we expect to launch later this year. But we have 8 other AI features that we're working on. The number one thing at GitLab is to make the developer and the software development lifecycle more efficient, so people can create their software faster and more secure. And so we're super happy about the AI features that we currently have in the market and the ones that we're developing to put in the market.
All right. Thanks for the refresher on the business and the plans going forward, Brian. And market very happy with it. So congrats, and we will definitely be in touch.
Super. Thanks, Oliver.
So the stock has pulled back after earnings. A couple of reasons. It's running into a level where sellers are being stingy and stubborn, right? This most recent candle price opened, went up to close lower, and that was the short term leg down. You also have a bigger selling wick that was established in January. So this is just profit taking to me. just a couple of weeks ago, mid-August, price was at $41 or so, and then went up roughly 20% or so, 25%. So let's go to the daily chart. And price did pull back and stopped at the 200-day moving average. Right, this is a secular go, no-go gauge. Above it, you're bullish. Below it, you're bearish. What's interesting about the weekly buyers low at $34, that was established back in June, that was a gap on earnings. Right, so this is a very strong level if price can pull back $15 or so. All right, so where's price heading next? Well, personally, I would love to see this formation. Yes, price pulling back $15 to go higher, with a next target at 72. That's where you have some resistance, which was support in the past. But it is also quite possible that price won't pull back that far. May retest the 200-day moving average. Hard to say what's going to happen, but be sure I will provide an update in the subsequent months. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.